You hear at learn to register your phone contacts as Democrats using SwipeBlue. And Bob Fertik, who is the creator of this amazing app, co-founded Democrats.com in 2000 as the first online community of progressive Democratic activists, now over 10 million strong. He helped lead the resistance to Bush and Cheney, starting with protests. Remember our last worst president? Starting with protests demanding a full Florida recount in 2000, organized the first protest against the invasion of Iraq at the UN in 2002, and helped lead the Bush impeachment movement in 2005. In 2012, Bob co-founded ACT.TV as the first progressive video network on Facebook. In 2016, Bob co-founded #VoteProChoice to elect pro-choice champions at all levels down to the school board. And back in 2020, Bob founded SwipeBlue to make relational organizing easy and free for grassroots activists and groups. Because like I said, relational texts are 29 times more powerful than text from a stranger. So take it away, Bob.
Thank you, Jason, for that very generous introduction. Thank you to Field Team 6 for inviting me to spend an hour with you this evening. It's really an honor to join such a dedicated group of activists like you who focus on the essential job of registering Democratic voters. And at a time when democracy itself is in danger, this is more important than ever. Tonight, I'm going to introduce you to a new way of registering Democrats with our free SwipeBlue app. If you have not yet installed it, please get on your phone and go to the store and just type in SwipeBlue, one word, and you'll see SwipeBlue to change the world. That's us. So click on that and hit install, and you'll answer a couple of questions initially about, put in your own phone number and how you vote and your nickname. And then we'll ask you to match your phone contacts to the voter file. And that's the special power of SwipeBlue. And if I could share my screen, I will walk you through what it's all about, assuming I can find that screen. There it is. Okay. Can you all see that?
Now we can. Perfect. Yep.
Okay. So relational organizing is what Jason introduced. It's an old concept. It's friend-to-friend organizing. And we built SwipeBlue. I didn't build it. John Greaves, our CTO, built it. He's on the call. We built it to make it easy and fun and powerful. So why? Texting, as you know, is a fantastic technology that we use every day, but all texts are not created equal. There are texts that you read and texts that you ignore. The texts we read are from family and friends. The texts we ignore come from strangers. And that's why we built SwipeBlue, to help you reach your family and friends about voting. It's 29 times more effective than texts from strangers, as Jason mentioned, and it's perfect for all of our election tasks like voter registration, voter ID, early voting, and finally GOTV. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to walk you through it. We start by matching your contacts. Hopefully you've all gotten past that. Then we're going to swipe progressive friends and text them a meaningful action. That's what SwipeBlue does, and it can be used for all kinds of things, and we'll talk about it. The importance of your phone contacts is people don't really appreciate how powerful their phone contacts are. If you've been using a phone for years, as we all have, you've accumulated your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, people you buy things from. You have excellent data on them because you talk to these people or you text them. And here's a secret that you wouldn't immediately guess, but if you're a Democrat, most of the friends in your phone are Democrats too. That's because they're good people. They're the kind of people you want to know. Unfortunately, there are always people in our lives that we don't want to know, and we have to deal with them. But if you're a Democrat, most of your friends are going to be Democrats too. You could have anywhere from 100 to 5,000 contacts. On average, our users have 700. Think about that. You as a political organizer have the ability to directly connect with 700 voters. That's, a power that, just imagine knocking on 700 doors. That's a tremendous reach that you have, and these people know you. When we match, as you can see in the screen, we start with your town, where you're going to know a few people, and then expand to your county, where you'll know more. Then we'll show you all the Democrats you know. When we match your contacts, we're adding political data from the voter file. First of all, we get about 50% matches. What we add is their registration, their geography, and their party. Geography, as I just showed you, town, county, state, and districts. Party is actual registration in the half of the states that allow party registration. In the other half, we use a modeled score. This lets you target, when you're sending your text, you can target progressive friends, including people you didn't even know were Democrats. But because we're matching all your contacts, we're going to show you Democrats that you didn't even know. And we can also avoid conservatives, which is a good thing when you're sending out political messages. And we can match unregistered adults, which is the point of our work tonight. To use SwipeBlue, when you're in a campaign and you see the people that you want to message, you just swipe blue. It's Tinder for politics. You choose the friends you want to send the text, and when you send it, it's going through your phone app. So they're going to see that it came from you, not from some stranger. And if they reply, you can really go back and forth if they want to discuss whatever it is. And if they love what you're doing, they can join you and install SwipeBlue themselves, and they can then multiply the impact of what you're doing. When you swipe, it pops up a text. The text is whatever has been written for the campaign that you're working on. It includes a link. The SwipeBlue is all about taking action through a link. We want your friend to click the link and take that action. We can track that if we need to. You can customize the text, if you don't like the way it's worded, and make it more in your voice. When you want to send it, you can hit text now, text later, or through WhatsApp. We support any language, any character set if you're talking to an immigrant community. When you install it, hopefully you've all installed it, the first screen you'll see is the My Campaign screen, which is what I showed you before, starting with the people you know in your town. We have all these official campaigns. To find them, you click the campaigns menu button at the bottom left, that's circled in red. That'll take you to the national campaigns. And at the very top, where it belongs, is the Field Team 6 campaign. When you look at this list, I have to offer a little bit of context. It's hard to identify unregistered voters. It's harder than registered voters. There are different reasons why people would show up as not registered. Some of them are already registered, or it's the wrong person. And we can fix those by tapping on them. Some are not eligible because they're not citizens or they're too young. We can remove those from our list here by swiping right, and then they'll just disappear. What we're left with are the people that we do want to text. So you swipe left, swipe blue, and the text will pop up. And what it'll do is it'll ask your friends to check whether they're registered. And we have built a special site for that at democracy.us, which looks like this. We make it super easy to check your registration. You've probably used your official state website or another app to check your registration. We made it super easy just by putting in your cell phone number and the year you're born. That's on the left. And that finds it 2/3 of the time. If that doesn't find your registration, then we ask you to put in your legal name and your state and your year of birth and your zip code. And one way or the other, we hope we'll find you if you are registered. And that's me on the right. But if we don't find you, then we're going to take you into a voter registration form, an online registration form that you're no doubt familiar with. We use Vote America. There are 7 or 8 of them out there that all do the same job. And you put in your name, and then you can choose whether to submit your registration through the official website, which is how your product works, or you can actually, Vote America will actually email you a form a PDF with your data in it that you can print out and sign and mail to your local county, which some people just prefer to do it that way. So that's it in a nutshell. I have some FAQs here, but let's make this interactive. Let's open this up for questions.
So yes, if anyone wants to ask a question, you can put it in the chat. You can also, let's make it so people can unmute themselves because we have, manageable crowd. You can just unmute yourself and pipe up. And then after these initial questions, Bob, can you take us through the Field Team 6 campaign?
I can do that on my phone. So I'm going to switch over and.
Oh, let's see. Let's see these questions first. Yeah. Here's someone. Is this application solely focused on registering people to vote?
No. We built it as a GeoTV app for the Biden campaign in 2020. And we had about 30,000 people who installed SwipeBlue that year. And on average, they texted about 30 of their friends. But when we saw the power of it and we got feedback about how much people liked it, we invented other ways to use it. So registration's another way to use it. But if you look at the campaigns below Field Team 6 on the menu, there is, we have several other national campaigns going. And then you'll see a tab at the top that shows your state. And we may or may not have a campaign in your state. And then you'll see a tab that says other states. And you'll see lots of other state campaigns. And we can, when we get through with the registration, we could explore 1 or 2 of these other campaigns.
We have a couple questions more, Bob. Fran says, I'm opening SwipeBlue and it's got a spot for partner code. Do we have one?
We do actually. FT6 will take you right to the Field Team 6 campaign.
Yay. Okay, and the other one is from David. Genius product. How long has SwipeBlue been up and running, and do you have any efficacy data?
Well, it's been since 2020. This is 5 years so far. We did a very large study last year, a randomized controlled trial to measure the effectiveness. And we're still waiting for the data to be massaged and compiled, but I'll be thrilled to share that with the world when we get the study back.
Yeah, this is such an easy tool to use. It's It doesn't, oh, can you talk about like the fact that it doesn't keep any data from
Yeah.
personal data? Yeah.
Yeah. So when you share your contacts with us, we securely match them to the voter file. We put the matches on your phone, only on your phone, and we delete them from our server. So it's, secure, it's private.
So easy and fun to use, and every message is customizable.
Yeah, you just click inside the message and you can edit it. You get two chances to edit it. First, you can rewrite the campaign, and then when you push it through to your messaging app, if you want to add a personal note to that person alone, like, hey, we haven't spoken in ages, you can add that in the second step before you hit send.
Yeah, that's great. That for me, I think it's a natural reaction to be like, I don't want to send a form text to all my closest friends, or but that's why it's so helpful to just, you can customize it. I tried after the next few questions, when we check out the Field Team 6 campaign, you'll see the text I wrote is meant to be usable for everyone, and but also sounds personal enough that, that they can see it's actually me, and, and I'm totally comfortable sending it. So yes, David Feynman said, Fran, it is a great tool. It's fantastic. David says, so every time we open the app, we are rebuilding the list, and the list disappears when we close the app.
No, your contacts are stored on your phone
Locally.
So that persists. You don't have to refresh the match. When you open and close, you may see a new campaign that we've added since you installed it, but everything you've done will be saved.
Awesome.
We got a hand up. You can either unmute yourself, or
Yeah,
throw.
I've done. Can
Go
you
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to get around my own hesitancy here. There are people who want to hear from me about these issues, and I gather there are people who don't. And I'm looking for a way to use this. So it sounds like I can customize it and give people a choice. Do they want to receive this information from me? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, these are your friends, your family, the people you know. You have to use all of your social intelligence, all your intuition, about who would appreciate the message. We try to make the text friendly, and we're not yelling at anybody. We're just inviting them to do something for the good of our democracy. So even if people don't want to do it for some reason, they're generally not going to, yell at you for asking them. They may just ignore you or politely decline.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. You could also just include, a second paragraph underneath that says, and if by chance you're conservative, there's so many other great things to do besides voting. Have you tried fishing, arcade games, sports? Especially on November 5th, it's going to be perfect weather for sports.
That was less helpful. But I have.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Fran. Are you still going? I'm so sorry.
I'll wrap it up quickly, but I have had the experience on Facebook with people that I really respect and I feel respected by. And maybe they see these things that I post, which is quite a few, frankly, or maybe they don't, because I don't have control over that. But there are only a few people who will ever respond. And I don't know if that's because they've decided they've heard enough from me or what, but I'm trying to kind of balance that out, and maybe I shouldn't care. I don't know. I seem to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
People are inundated with messages, and so they don't respond to every message. They pick and choose depending on the day. So my philosophy is just put stuff out there and hopefully it'll make a difference.
Okay, all right. I like that. Thank you.
Awesome. Molly, how about you?
Hi, I'm looking at the app and I'm on the campaign California Yes on 50, and I'm seeing these categories: matched, unmatched, Dem, priority. And I don't think I heard enough in the instructions to help me understand these 4 lists. But my main question is, why do I see people who are not in California on these lists? Because this is a California proposition.
Well, let me take a look at Yes on 50. California Yes on 50. This will be in the other state. Well, depending on where you live, it'll be California or other states. When I open it, all I see are California names.
Hi, Molly. This is John.
Hi,
I'm
John.
one of the developers as well on this. So if you press the priority tab, the button, that one should show you all the people that matched that are in California. So basically so when you go to a campaign, you can see all of your contacts, because maybe there's some people that did not match that maybe you know are in California and you want to contact or whatnot.
Oh, I
And
see.
then
Uh-huh.
there's matched, right? So that's all the ones that matched from everywhere. And then we use priority to make it so that that's the ones that are important for that race but we're not 100% sure. There's a lot of variables in the matching and the registration and all that other stuff. So we wanted to keep it available that you could touch or a swipe on some of the other people in your
Okay.
contact list if it made sense. But
So,
we are still trying to figure out the best way to sort of present that to people. We understand that the user experience, there's a lot of different variables. So we definitely appreciate we see where you're coming from, and we are sort of trying to also figure out the best way to make it more intuitive.
okay. So mostly what I'm going to be doing when I'm looking at a campaign is going to priority.
That's the most. So
First.
we figure that's our best guess of
Okay.
what we think is going to work. But there might be
Okay.
other people that like I lived in New York for a long time, and actually I moved to New Jersey, but I still have a New York phone number. And sometimes when depending on the source that I look at, my registration still shows up as New York, and actually even sometimes in Florida, where I'm from, when I registered when I was 18. But I've been registered in New Jersey for 5 years. So sometimes, depending on the records, we have Target Smart, which is actually pretty good with that. But like I said, priority is our best guess, but there's things that we can't always know. So we wanted to make sure that it's still available.
Okay. All right. That's really helpful. I will, I'll keep looking at it with that in mind. And it's so much more than I had before I got on this call. So just wanted to make the best use of it. Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Sylvia has a question. Sorry, Jason. Can I use the app to send messages to friends who don't show up as a match manually?
Yes. In the upper right corner is a magnifying glass. And if you press that, it'll give you a search option. So you can search for anybody you think of and then swipe them.
They'll also show up in the unmatched tab if you hit that tab as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I have a question about the unmatched tab. This is Iris. So some of these are businesses. And how do I'm not able to delete those because I can't complete the information.
Yeah, so we understood that there's going to be people, they have their pizza place or their restaurant that they call or whatever. We don't have a great solution for that. I guess, well, you could swipe right, that would sort of remove them from that list, but that is something that we're still trying to figure out the best way. The thing is that, there's a lot of people that are their own small business. Like, actually, I have, a business in my name that I use my personal phone number for. So it's just hard for us to necessarily differentiate between businesses all the time. We actually had it where if it's an 800 number and things that we know are business, generally business, we sort of filtered those out. But what you're bringing up is something that we are still trying to figure out the best way, because we also don't want to remove potential actual contacts that should be contacted. But yeah, that is something we're still working on.
Let me direct you to under the national campaigns. So go back to campaigns, hit national, and scroll down. At the bottom is a campaign that's called Match Missing Contacts. And if you tap on that, we break them into 5 different categories. Businesses is the last category. And if you click on businesses, and you want to resume, I have Amazon here. You just swipe, well, swipe right isn't working on these. John, we're going to have to drill down on that. We want to make it easy for you to clean up the list, to remove people that you're not going to text. So we just need to spend a little more time on that feature. But if there's people on here that are humans, that are voters, what you do is you tap on their name, and we'll ask you for the information that we need. First name, we need the legal first name to match somebody. The state and the age range. And then you hit search, and if we're lucky, you'll find that person, and then they become matched after you approve them.
Okay, so David's asking, does SwipeBlue usage feed into the Field Team 6 database?
Not at the moment, but if Field Team 6 wants to become a partner, then we would share not your contact information, but the swipes, the people that you texted. And that way Field Team 6 could see which of those people actually registered, and could then tell you, you texted 5 people and 3 of them registered, and send you flowers and chocolates and roses and all of the gifts that you deserve.
Yeah. I love that idea. Let's talk more about that. I mean, offline, but I love that idea. Yeah, I just matched one of my unmatched contacts. It worked perfectly. And he's a Democrat. I knew it.
It is kind of fun just to sort of get, see your contact and see how many Democrats. Sometimes it's just and then sometimes you're like, I didn't know that guy was Republican. But yeah, that's another sort of layer to it. We found that a lot of users tend to find that interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's helpful in guiding you to who to contact. It strikes me that you could have one message that you send to all your friends who you are pretty sure are going to be registering as Democrats, and you could you could do a slightly tweaked, more moderate message to your moderate friends who you think there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, we've had that discussion a bit. It just gets complicated what to include and what not to include, but the swing voter and the independent voter is more and more important these days. So I think that is a fertile direction to go in.
Yeah. Love it.
Let me just editorialize, because John happens to be running for mayor in the very red town of Clark, New Jersey. So telling Republicans from Democrats is something John's antenna are very attuned to.
Nice.
Right on.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's quite a race.
I have to look up Clark because I'm from New Jersey. I'm from West Orange and then Chatham.
Yeah. If you have a little time, you can put in Clark, New Jersey mayor. I might show up, but really there was a lot of trouble with our previous mayor. And there's a whole bunch of drama around that that I won't get into here.
You'll get that first when you look it up.
Okay, sounds right.
Right. Okay, so someone's asking, how do campaigns get added to the application?
They reach out or we ask them if we can add them. There are about 5 or 6 huge races this year that you're probably all paying attention to. There's Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania judges, California, yes on 50. There's Georgia Public Service Commission. There's the mayor of New York. There are a few other mayors out there. So we added them in an odd year, it becomes manageable. We built this so that people could sign up themselves and create their own campaigns and manage their own campaigns and change the message periodically as, things happen. So, if you're working with a candidate and they would love, like to have this app to help with their campaign, they can use it for fundraising, they can use it for house parties, they can use it for canvassing to recruit volunteers. And they can use it for registration, and they can use it for voter ID and GeoTV. So, we love to work with candidates, so just put them in touch with me. I'm bobfertik@gmail.com. It's the easiest way to get me.
That's fantastic. Can you take us through the Field Team 6 campaign?
Field Team 6, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the campaigns button, you're on the national screen, and it's the very first campaign at the top. Nope. Register Democrat, save the world. What an awesome motto. Just click on that. And you'll see the filter that's active there is the one that says unreg. That's what we've determined to be your unregistered friends. It's a guess. We're not 100% sure. If somebody is not eligible because they're not a citizen or they're a child, just swipe right and they will disappear. If it's the wrong person, maybe the state looks wrong, they've moved or something. You tap on their name and
Bob,
you
can you
hit
hold it up? They're asking to see your screen. There we go.
Yeah, the lighting
I
here
don't
is,
know, it might be too.
I can't get a good lighting.
Yeah, here, don't.
Oh, there we
don't-
go.
Don't take down my friends' names, please.
Your lighting's better. So if you tap on somebody, the button says not them. And so if it's the wrong person, just hit not them and it'll disappear. Oh, it'll let you search. Well, you're trying to text somebody.
No, I'm trying to remove someone, right? Is that what we're trying to do?
Oh, yeah, you can remove somebody. And yeah, we ask, why, business, died, child, conservative, don't text.
Died to me,
Died to me. If somebody's just the wrong person and you tap on them and you say not them, then we'll ask you for their state, their name, their legal name, their state, and their age range. And it'll do that matching search. And maybe you will find that that person is registered if we get the name right. I mean, I looked up Jason before I started here because he didn't match for me. And there are 7 Jason Berlins in California.
That's a lot. Wow, I thought there were only 3.
So, let's see if I can turn down the brightness on my screen.
I hope they're all Democrats. I know one is in jail. Come on, dude. Represent the name well. Have respect for the name. Ooh, that's cool.
All right. So, when you finally get down to when you've cleaned out all the errors and you find somebody that you do want to text, you then swipe left, which is blue. And up pops the message that Jason proposed. And you can read it over. And if you like it, just hit text now or WhatsApp if you prefer. If you want to change it, there's the custom button. And so you just edit it and save it. And that becomes your version.
That's the text. I don't know if I can hold it steady enough. Oh, is it backwards? Are you seeing it as backwards?
No, it's good.
No, yeah, we can see it fine.
Okay.
So
that's-
you don't have to, study it right now. You can wait till we're offline and think it over more carefully. I like Jason's message. He writes beautifully.
Thank you. Yeah, but feel free to make it your own, put it in your own voice, customize it. Make it something you're comfortable sending. Yeah, I always get nervous, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm sending it to Mike Primavera. He's a funny dude. He was on comedy Twitter many, many years ago. Don't know him that well, but I don't care. It's okay. The worst is that, he looks at it and he's like, oh, who is this guy? And ignores it. I'm no worse off with Mike Primavera than I was.
If you've knocked on doors and dealt with strangers that way, these are people they know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we got Fran asked, I've started marking clients do not text, but they're still listed in red. How do I remove them?
That's a question for John.
I don't know what version we're at right now. We've actually been going back and forth with whether or not we were going to leave them on there and leave it as red, or we were going to remove them. I think this version we're still leaving them as red, but I guess I'd actually like to just sort of ask in general, does it sound or does it feel like a better idea to, once you mark them as not good, that you would or not good, but not someone you want to text to, that we just remove them from your whole contact list, or should we just sort of mark them like we are?
And by remove
These
from
are
your
the kinds of
contact
things that we're
list,
hoping to get from these types of interactions. Like, there's a lot of decisions that we make our best guess, and I don't know that everybody necessarily agrees, and we're still trying to work that out. So it sounds like people are thinking have them removed completely, but I would be interested to see what people's thoughts were.
and just to clarify, remove just means remove it from the screen inside SwipeBlue. We do not in any way alter your own contact list.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I would love to hear you'd prefer removing them completely. Okay, just from the app. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Iris says. Fran says, I'd like them removed. I'm a clinical counselor. You need to be careful not to text clients.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you're probably not alone there, Fran. A lot of people have like professional people that they really can't be doing that for.
Yeah. For me, I had to be careful not to text like people who run their own liberal organizations and they're like, idiot, what are you texting me? Like, and I forgot
Oh, dear.
their name because I just had one Zoom with them 4 years ago, Yeah, personally, I don't mind. I kind of like seeing it in red just because with it's nice that you have the reason, do not text or, other even. To me, because I at least know that I thought about it already and considered it. I don't know. I could see either of these, but I defer to the majority. Yeah, this is great. I have, let's see, I'm doing one right now. Okay. I've done this, many times before with SwipeBlue, so I don't actually have that many that are unregistered that I haven't either taken off the list or texted. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just did 7, and it feels great. Feels great. I'll see if I get any responses. At this point, it's mainly people who have very tenuous connections with, a couple of them don't remember at all. Hey, they got a useful text. Maybe they remember me. Yeah. It can't hurt. It can only help.
Let me just make a few other points.
Yeah, please.
Most of the people that you know who are not registered are going to really be in the unmatched filter, right? It's just the way this works. So you should click that filter and just scroll through it visually and think about whether they might, be the kind of person who's not registered. Yeah, Fran, we're all sorry that you lost your husband. Can we create sublists as a way to filter for people with whom we may want to follow?
It's not available. We have, it's a balance between making it easy for people to use and also having, advanced functionality. And we're still trying to get it to the easy to use part. But I see where you're coming from with that. And, it's something that I would like to see it kind of integrated, but it's a balancing act, and we haven't done that yet. But I do appreciate that that idea.
Another point I want to make is we all seem to be boomers or Gen X. And at this stage of our lives, the people that we know are mostly registered. If they're ever going to register, they've registered by now. But if we look at our kids and our grandkids, they're going to have a large number of unregistered friends. So if you want to go the extra mile, and if they're politically passionate, it's a wonderful activity to encourage them to do. And they don't have to knock doors. And, I know Gen Z, they don't like to talk to humans. They only want to text each other. So this is a great activity for Gen Z.
They can also register in some states, pre-register before they're 18. I have a teenage son. He was really excited telling people about that. So then they just automatically get, a ballot if you're in a mail-in ballot or all that stuff. So it's good if you know young teens just to tell them that if you're in one of those states.
Yeah, so you can swipe your under 18 family, and they can click on the link and they can register, pre-register. Some states it's 16, some states it's 17, some states not available.
Does this app show if my contact actually voted? Says Sylvia.
No, that's data that we'd have to get after the election, right? But if there's a swipe and there's a voter base ID associated with the swipe, that's sort of what we're trying to do. Like Bob was talking, we had a control trial. They're trying to match that. We actually don't have that in our wheelhouse. We're waiting for them to do that. So you wouldn't be able to see that right away. We would like to make it so that we could get that information and maybe give you feedback after the election. But that's sort of like at this moment, hopes and dreams. There is a feasibility to do it, but there's just there's a lot of steps we have to get through first. But yes, ultimately that would be great, and we would really like it because I want people to see, hey, you made a difference, and with just 2 fingers, right? So that's something we want That's actually a general thing that we're trying to work into the app, a way for feedback so people can see the impact of what they're doing. Because, once you send a text out, kind of, it just becomes electrons and you sort of lose it. And we'd like people to see some more substantive feedback.
Yeah, and we wanted to give this information to Jason so that he can send you chocolates and flowers.
Yes, yes, I have all these chocolates and flowers. I don't know what to do with. These are great questions, and yeah, just using this app every time I use this app, probably once a year, do a refresh. Whoever I haven't, I want to get this to everyone I know. It really, I mean, if each one of us can text 20 to 50 people, that's huge. That's huge. And in such an influential way, we have 37,000 volunteers at Field Team 6 now. We're over 37,000. If every one of them could do this, that'd be huge. That'd be huge. So spread the word about this. What other questions? Are people trying it right now?
Yes, people are trying, it looks like. And if you came in super late, I put the thing in the chat if you want to just download it real quick. We're glad you're here. We don't care if you're late.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's super intuitive. Yeah.
I'd love to know if anybody's received a reply while we've been doing this.
Yeah, let me see. All right. Not yet. Not to my 7. Maybe Mike Primavera is tweeting about it.
Wait, David, did you receive a reply?
No, I did not.
Okay. Oh, you're just looking. Okay. I saw yep. I didn't know if that meant someone had already replied to you.
Yep, I'm playing with it. It's
Oh,
cool.
cool. Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's
Okay.
really fun. Personally, once I get over the nervousness of sending it to like the first person, it gets much easier. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yes. Oh, send. Get them all sent. I have 762 unmatched. So some are yellow, some are green on the side here. They have these triangles. What does that mean?
So if you scroll down to the match missing contacts on the national, you'll see the yellow and the green. If you tap on it, it says in the top middle, it says tap here for help. And a little screen will pop up and it'll explain.
But basically, the green is people that we matched more than one person to. Right. So we weren't sure. We need, someone maybe with the same name or, whatever it is that sort of made them look similar. And we need you to help. So it's basically, we kind of think we know this, but we can't really be sure. And the yellow is like, we don't really have a great idea.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Rick is asking, how do I correct the party data?
If somebody's showing the wrong party?
I assume so.
Yes. So as I mentioned at the outset, half of the states have party registration. So in those states, it's the official record. Half the states don't have party registration. And in those states, we use a model score. Those model scores can be wrong. We draw a line, I don't know, 80 or 70, and call them a Democrat. If it's like 30 and under, we call them a Republican because that's what these scores are supposed to mean. But the scores are modeled, they could be wrong. We don't really have a way to change that. It would be substituting your own knowledge of the voter for the model, which is a valid, these people. But really, we just, if you want to text that person, text them. If you want to remove that person, remove them. That's kind of You know, it's about what you do with that rather than changing the flag.
Bob, did you want to mention the update to the iOS and that impact on texting?
Yeah, this is my favorite topic now. For the past 8 or so years, we've all embraced texting, peer-to-peer texting. We have text banks and we send out millions and millions of texts. We, the movement, Team Blue. And right now, if you have an iPhone, you may have already, or you may soon get an update to iOS 26. And that does something radically different, both to your phone calls and to your texts, your incoming phone calls, your incoming texts. Now there's a filter on your texts that you can press in the upper right-hand corner. And if you click that filter, you will never see a text from a stranger. It goes into an unknown sender folder. So those, you know, that incessant flow of fundraising texts that come from strangers, you're never going to see them anymore, which is good for you and bad for the senders.
Yeah.
But it makes relational texting that much more valuable. Your friends will see the text that you send them, assuming that you're in their phone, not just them in your phone, right? But if you're in their phone, then you'll be recognized as a known sender and they'll see it. And with all the other stuff filtered out, your texts will have much more impact. That study on the 29 times more impact, that was done before all of this. So it's going to now be even greater.
Right. Right. You have to opt in though, right? To that filter.
It's one click at the top right of your messaging app.
Mm-hmm. You may detect that I'm slightly horrified about that. I talked to a bunch of at Netroots Nation, I talked to a bunch of text vendors about this upcoming potential disaster for political text banking, non-relational text banking, and they said to a person, they said they weren't worried about it. That is what they would say because they're text vendors, you know. They said they didn't think it would affect things too much because it is opt-in, but you're saying it's very easy to opt in. And I mean, why wouldn't anyone in the world opt in, especially if it's easy? Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see what the effects are, but it's true that it will make relational texting even more important. And yeah, it's a good point. I didn't realize that, but it's true. For it to be real relational texting, you have to be in their phone too. The friendship has to go both ways, you know. So really, the solution is we just all have to become friends with thousands more people.
In my dream, every activist, and there are millions of us. I mean, the last No Kings March, there were 5 or 6 million people who took to the streets. In my dreams, all of those activists would become relational organizers, and each one would have their own network of 12 or 50 or 100 or 500 Democratic friends, and they would text them whenever it was, you know, wherever, depending on where they live and what the election is. In the old days, when I was a kid, we used to call them phone trees. And everybody it was like a branching thing, and the central organization would give you your section, and then the people below you would have their list. And that was a way to create this massive phone tree. And, you know, it was a good way of organizing it. And we should go back to the old school methods.
Some of them are useful. So Jason, we have people who came late asking if the recording will be sent to them or if they
Yes.
need. Yes. Okay. So
Yes, we'll send, as long as you signed up on the Mobilize event, on the Mobilize link, we will send you the recording. And if you didn't, just put your email in the chat right now. If you don't want it in the public chat, you can just DM me privately, and we will email the link to the recording to everyone. Yes. All right. It's almost 6. I think that was really, this is a super visionary app. It's so easy to use in its current state without any other bells or whistles. It's so helpful. And I'm just so thrilled that you came up with it, and Mayor Greaves, that you put it together. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. One more question from Fran. Swiped out of the app and came back. I came to the screen where you sign in, signed in again. My red contacts are no longer red. What did I do wrong? They became reds.
I don't think you did anything wrong. There might be something I did wrong. I'll take a look at it. Sorry about that.
This is amazing, and I'm proud to know you, Bob and John, and thank you every single one of you who is here. Spread the word to everybody. Tell them about this. Post about it on social media. Tell people at all the protests you go to. Speaking of which, every single event we ever have between now and October 18th, got to tell people October 18th, 10/18, No King's Day 2. Go to a protest near you. They're all over the country, over 2,000 events so far. I'm sure it's more than that. It's just 2,000 when I last heard. So just look up what events are closest to you and go. You don't have to bring a sign, even just show up. And everyone you see, get them registered with voterizer.org and get them using SwipeBlue. Tell them about SwipeBlue. Make sure they get it.
yes. Oh, we have one more question from Stephen.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, I mean, it looks like there's some bugs that need to be worked out of this thing. It's very interesting, but I'm wondering if you guys are thinking about presenting it to, let's say, Indivisible National. If you can get a good program together where it's easy to explain to people and you get, some of the bugs worked out. Because when you talk about Indivisible National, you're talking about a lot of people. As we've seen with the No Kings and some of the other rallies that we've been doing. I belong to an Indivisible here in the Chicago area, and we have
Nice.
several of them in our area. But I think that spreading this idea, especially when we get out the vote, this could be a very important app. So I congratulate you on working on this. I know you're still working out some bugs, but just a thought, just think about that. And yesterday I was at a Zoom with Focus for Democracy. You guys probably know about them. I think, right? You know about Focus for
Yes,
what's Aaron Frank, I believe it is.
yes.
Anyway, another organization that does great work, and they vet some amazing community organizing groups, and where, sometimes you're talking about people that aren't always voting. Sometimes it's because they're working and their employer won't let them get out to vote, whatever. It could be a very interesting app to introduce to these organizations. So just some ideas. But I think that Indivisible might want to look at this. Could be very,
Thank you,
very
Steve. Thank you, Stephen. Those are excellent suggestions. I know both of those groups, and I will ask them. If you're involved with, Indivisible chapters and you're talking to other chapters, it would be awesome if you just suggested to the other chapter leaders that they should check it out.
Yeah, well,
And-
I'm gonna show them this because I'm involved with the local one here. So yeah, well, we'll just keep looking at it, and you guys keep on working at it, and when we get what are you on 1.0 or 2.0 or 3.0 right now? Anyhow, thanks for doing this, and thanks Jason and everybody involved.
Bob,
for organizing this.
I'm so sorry, Stephen. Bob, Iris is asking how everybody contacts you for future presentations. Do you want me to just or you can throw your email in there?
If I could type, I'll put it in here. How'd that come out?
It's just fine. There it is. Can you grab that, Iris?
bob.fertik@gmail.com. You got that, Iris? It's
Okay, she got it. Okay. And
And
everybody else grab it if you
we'll-
want.
We also have a website at swipeblue.org. There's contact forms there. Just that as well.
excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for this. Yeah, let's keep it going. Keep it going. Tell everyone you know. And thank you for being on the front lines of this fight against fascism. Keep going. Keep going. Stay joyful, organize, like Heather Booth says, organize out of a place of joy with love at the center. And we can't lose. We keep going. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much, Bob and John. Thank you, Darby, for helping us put this on.
Nice.
And, thank you, all of you. Mwah. All right. See you out there October 18th. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.